Our grandfathers. My grandfather worked a mile away along the riverfront at Sun Shipyard. Whether it be Sunoco, Sinclair, Scott Paper, Westinghouse, Boeing, those individuals, our fathers and grandfathers, our grandmothers, our mothers, they made America great. Right down the street here in the arsenal of democracy, providing weapons for the war effort, providing jobs for our fellow citizens. We're going to hear from a fellow tonight who's going to make America great again. You ready for that? So what can we do? What can we do as regular, ordinary people to help Donald Trump make America great again? Three things. Joyce mentioned it. We're going to take a look again at Nicole. Nicole's got a beautiful smile. Let's go look at Nicole. Hand higher than that, Nicole, way higher. The most important thing about Nicole is not her smile. It's that lime green shirt she has on, because she and other volunteers out in the audience are here, and they're here to help you register to vote, okay? Now, you're going to say, why is that important? It's critically important that you get to these people and get their contact information and register to vote. It's great that you came here tonight, but if you're not registered to vote, you're not going to help make America great again. Secondly, number two, same people you can sign up with to go door to door in Delaware County. 4 years ago, the Republican candidate lost the state of Pennsylvania by a couple 100,000 votes. That's it. 4 or 5 percentage points. The supposed blue state, only 4 or 5 percentage points. Do you know how many registered Republicans did not vote in 2012? 800,000 registered Republicans didn't vote in 2012. So we know, as the 5th most populous county in the state, we've got about 40 to 50,000 of them right here. And those folks in the lime green shirts, you can go sign up, and we're going to go knock on the doors of those folks who didn't vote 4 years ago and say, hey, what about our team? That's the second thing you can do to help make America great again. And the third thing you can do, after Donald Trump gets elected and is sworn in, takes the oath of office, you can help elect a team that's going to assist Donald Trump to make America great again. He's not going to be able to do it without the other Republicans on the ballot, starting with our state U.S. Senator Pat Toomey. Got to get Pat in. Delaware County's Congressman Pat Meehan. We got to get Pat in. Our state senator right here, Tom Killian, in the 9th Senatorial District. We get Tom in. And all of the Republican state representatives that are running on that ticket. We need a team effort to make America great again. Starts with Donald Trump. It ends with guys and gals like you and me and everyone here today. So seek out the folks in the lime green shirts. You're going to hear from a couple guys who are running statewide who are very, very important to our ticket. These folks get elected. They're going to help Donald Trump in Pennsylvania make America great again. So God bless the United States, Pennsylvania, and Delaware County, but not just in that order, all right? God bless you for being here.
Thank you, Andy. Now, it's not on my script, but I want to just echo what he said about the importance of registering to vote. You would have no idea that 1 out of every 3 people who are eligible to register to vote have not registered to vote. That means you need to check your neighbors, your friends, your family. 1 out of every 3 is not registered to vote. So please, work hard, make sure they're registered, and you only have until October 11th to do that. That's the closing of the voter registration. So now, it is truly my honor to introduce you to the Northampton County Executive, John Brown, who is going to be our next Auditor General. Thank you, John Brown.
Thank you, Joyce. Good afternoon, everyone. Thank you for the opportunity to be here to speak with you. My name is John Brown, and I am running for the State Auditor General seat. A little bit about my background. I am a University of Notre Dame graduate, fighting Irish. Woo, right? Yeah, Irish. I have 30 years of a business background. I've served one term as a mayor, and I currently serve as the elected executive in Northampton County. And why I share that with you is because I'm the only candidate that actually has senior executive experience. The job of the Auditor General is to save you taxpayer money. And in my world, results matter. In Northampton County, in 3 years, I've returned over $40 million to the general fund, took care of a nursing home, fixed a prison, and did it without cutting jobs or doing funny money. Results matter. The incumbent, the current Auditor General, will tell you that he's producing results, but he can't even cover the cost of his own office. He'll tell you he's saving you money, but he's costing you money. His colleagues in Harrisburg, he's a Harrisburg insider, went to Harrisburg, never left. He's been friends with Rob McCord, convicted, right? We heard of him. Right, we have Kathleen Kane. Yeah? Those two make one of the three offices, the Treasurer, Rob McCord, the Attorney General, Kathleen Kane, and Gene DePasquale, the Auditor General, 3 peas in a pod. We're looking to take them out and replace all of them. The Auditor General won't bite the hand that feeds him. He's friends with Governor Wolf and wouldn't call the governor out on the $10 billion he took out of the Treasury last year when he wouldn't come to the table with the budget overall. He was hired, Gene DePasquale is a friend of Katie McGinty. We know that name. Mentored by her. We know her problems. So the apple doesn't fall far from the tree. He talks about pension reform. And yet when he was in the House of Representatives and had the chance to vote on it, to change the curve of our pension debt, he refused to do it. So no results from Gene. As your Auditor General, I will save you taxpayer money. I will work hard for you. Otto Voigt, who's running for Treasurer, we need him. We need John Rafferty in as the Attorney General candidate. Now, as I said, I'm a graduate of Notre Dame, and our nickname is the Fighting Irish. And I'm asking you right now, are you willing to fight with us to make this happen? I need to know if you're going to fight with me to make this happen. So are you willing to fight for the seniors that are on fixed income, that are in fear of losing their houses because the governor wants to keep raising our taxes? Are you willing to fight for the single mom that was held hostage by the governor so he could use them as poker chips in a budget debate? Are you willing to fight for the small business owner that can't afford to pay for the health care for their workers because of Obamacare? Are you willing to fight for all the workers that are out of work because of overregulation and failed economic policies of the Obama administration? Are you willing to fight for all taxpayers that are tired of having the government reach in and take your hard-earned money? Are you willing to fight for Pat Toomey to get him reelected as U.S. Senator? And are you willing to fight for Donald Trump to make him the next President of the United States? If you're willing to fight for all those people, I will fight for you as Auditor General for the state of Pennsylvania. Now, if we're going to win here in Pennsylvania, we need your help. And as you heard Joyce say and you heard Andy say, find the volunteers in the lime green shirts. Register, do everything you can. That's how you can begin the fight tonight, right here, right now. So thank you for your time. Pleasure being in front of you. And God bless all of you, and God bless America.
Thank you, John. I know that these two guys, you're going to meet Otto here in a second, but I have seen them all over Pennsylvania. They are working hard to earn your vote every hour of every day. They have been out there for months and months and months, and they don't tire, they don't quit. They are working hard to earn your support. So I ask that you do that. Now, our next speaker, it is again my pleasure to introduce the man who is really going to bring fiscal safety, fiscal sanity back to Harrisburg. Please welcome the Treasurer candidate, Otto Voigt.
Thank you. Hello, my fellow deplorables. How are we? And I know out there are adorable deplorables. Let's hear from you. Are you ready to make America great again? Well, then you've come to the right place. Okay, I am Otto Voigt, and I'm running for Pennsylvania State Treasurer, and I am proud to have been the first statewide candidate to endorse Donald J. Trump for President of the United States. I am a former military officer and Desert Storm veteran, and I stand with Donald J. Trump as a veteran. I stand with him for two reasons: safety and economics. Donald J. Trump recognizes the threat that radical Islamic terrorists pose to this country. And ISIS did not exist before Hillary Clinton was Secretary of State. What should we do with Hillary Clinton? Thank you. Did you know that more people believe in Bigfoot than they do in the trustworthiness of Hillary Clinton? As president, Donald J. Trump will utterly crush ISIS and will make us safe here at home and abroad. We have had the worst economic recovery since 1949. And it is because of Obama's socialist and one world order policies. And Hillary Clinton will double down on those policies and remove all hope and opportunity for a generation. What should we do to Hillary Clinton? You got it right. Yes. Did you know that more people believe in UFOs than in the trustworthiness of Hillary Clinton? As president, Donald J. Trump will bring back good-paying jobs to our community. So I ask you, are you tired of the status quo? You've come to the right place. Are you tired of the culture of corruption? Then you've come to the right place. But Donald Trump needs our help. This Saturday, we're going to go all across the state and knock on doors. We cannot take this for granted. I've been all across Pennsylvania, and it's all for Trump. But we need to continue to press for the next 46 days and to wake up to ensure he's our president. So make sure you see the lime green shirts and the volunteers in the back, and let's go door to door for Donald J. Trump. So are you willing to work hard to make America great again? Then let's go out and elect Donald J. Trump as President of the United States. God bless America.
Thank you, Otto. Thank you, all of you. And I want to truly thank you. And we are going to make Pennsylvania red and elect Donald Trump President of the United States, who will make America great again. One more. Yay. All right. Thank you.
Thank you.
In recent years, this country's gone to hell, and the crack's getting bigger on the side of that Liberty Bell. Well, Clinton, Obama, and the Democratic crew sure did a number on me and you. It wasn't my vote, you can blame yourselves for that. But we got a chance to turn things around. You can get your butt up off the ground and understand we're all gonna have to work. This big old country was built on sweat, and if we're gonna make it great again, you're gonna get wet. But the first things first, we all gotta vote for Trump. Vote for Trump, Donald Trump. And to hell with the rest, he'll get us over the hump. And down the road, we'll all go, and the wall will get built by Mexico. But first things first, we all gotta vote for Trump. He understands the working man, tells the truth that we can understand. If you don't like it, you can all just kiss our ass. Kiss our ass. He pays his own way, don't take no crap. Wanna bring back country, get rid of rap. And if nothing else, we can all thank Donald for that. Thank you, Donald. Vote for Trump, Donald Trump. To hell with the rest, he'll get us over the hump. And down the road, we'll all go, and the wall will get built by Mexico. But the first things first, we all gotta vote for Trump. Well, little Marco and Lion Ted, it's time to go home and crawl in bed. The campaign's over and the big fat ladies sing. And Hillary Clinton don't stand a chance with her preacher hair and her old man pants. Take Bill home, good God, he's getting old. Now let's vote for Trump, Donald Trump. Donald Trump. Yeah, to hell with the rest, he'll get us over the hump. And down the road, baby, we'll all go, and the wall's getting built by Mexico. Well, first things first, we all gotta vote for Trump. Jesus says, vote for Trump.
That's awfully nice of you folks. But I want to tell you, I think when I was coaching, I don't think we ever lost a game in Pennsylvania. And that, there's just a possibility that may not be true, too. So I want you to know that. But I've always been a big fan of the state of Pennsylvania. One of the people that I admired most in college athletics was Joe Paterno. Well, that being said, you know, maybe it's strange for a coach to be here, and why am I here? Well, I'm here, I think, like all of you people are. I'm here because I love the United States. And I can tell that you feel exactly as strongly about our country as I do. And that's, let me talk about Donald Trump just for a moment. Donald Trump is an interesting guy. I mean, really interesting. And Donald Trump is not national. He's international. Donald Trump is known all over the world. This is a guy, when becoming president, is going to have an opportunity to work with anybody in the world because they're all going to know who he is. They know who he is now. They know two things about him. They know how smart he is, and they know how damn tough he is. And this is not going to be a wimpy president, ladies and gentlemen. Just keep in mind, you have an opportunity to elect a smart, tough man who will really, really make a tremendous difference in everything that we as Americans want. We will be really proud of what this guy does. Now, let me tell you a couple things about it. You know, Donald had businesses all over the world, not just in the United States, but worldwide, businesses of all different kinds. And in doing that, he always had a lot of people. He had new people all over the world. But one thing that happens in any endeavor is problems. Now, when I was coaching basketball, when I quit coaching, my players, my teams had won more games than anybody in the history of college basketball. And the reason why we did this is because I had surrounded myself with some really smart people. And there are two real keys to winning. You've got to have good players. You know, no coach won with bad players. You know, you win with good players. That's number one. Number two is, when we were playing, let's say we're playing Michigan and they have a really good press. We've got to solve that press. We've got to be able to find an offense that beats that press. Or we've got to be able to beat the zone defense. How do we beat so-and-so's defense? That's where I think Donald Trump brings more to the table than any single person we've had in this situation in a long, long time. Donald, I call him Saint Donald once in a while just to have some fun with him. Donald is a problem solver, maybe the best there ever was. And I'm going to guarantee you, and I'm sure you all know this, but our next president is going to inherit a hell of a lot of problems. And we got to have the best person available to solve those problems and get us back where we all want to be. there's no question in my mind but what our country, all of us, are going to feel one hell of a lot better than we do today, the day that Mr. Donald Trump is elected as our next president. Just keep these two things in mind. Nobody can help us as a nation take care of problems the way Donald Trump can. That's number one. Number two, the people that Donald Trump brings into his presidency will not be buddies, they won't be pals, they'll be the smartest men and women in the world. That's the kind of staff that he's going to have. Now, I only know one thing really about life because I only ever studied that one thing, and that's how to win. But I'll tell you one thing for damn sure, I know how to win, and he's going to be the best winner we've had in a long, long time. And for us to have that, you only have to do one thing, and that's vote for Donald Trump. That's all you got to do. And with that, it's my pleasure to present to you the best man, the best person that we have had in a long, long time, and in the future, he will go down as one of the best that we've ever had. Let me introduce you to Mr. Donald Trump.
This guy, 900 games, Olympics, World Championships. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. I will. Thank you. Bobby Knight, everybody. Be careful. Be careful. Thank you. What do you think of Bobby Knight? 900 games. He won 900 games. That's called a winner. We're like winners. Thank you, Bobby. I'll tell you what. When I had to win Indiana, and I got the endorsement of Bobby Knight, it was over. It was over. That was a big one. It's great to be here in Pennsylvania. I love Pennsylvania. We've had really great polls coming in. I will say a brand new Rasmussen poll has us up 5 points nationwide. And a lot of states have us way, way up. People are starting to get a little bit nervous, folks. They're starting to get nervous. On November 8th, we're going to win this state, and we're going to win the White House. We're going to take it back. We're going to replace our failed and corrupt establishment with a new government that serves you, your family, and your country. You have to do it, and we're going to do it on November 8th. At the center of our society is going to be a simple promise to every American, and it's called safety. We need safety. We're going to make America safe again. I don't believe it. Look at that room over there. Wow. Look at that room over there. I wish those cameras could see that. They wouldn't show it, by the way. They wouldn't show it. I wish the cameras could see that. Wow, that is a lot of people. Thank you very much. I appreciate it. That's a long ways away. Thank you very much. The rioting in our streets is a threat to all peaceful citizens, and it must be ended, and ended now. The main victims of these violent demonstrations are law-abiding African Americans who live in these communities and only want to raise their children in safety and peace and with a good education. That's what they want. And we're going to give that to them. We're going to give that to them. Who's looking out for them? For every one violent disruptor, there are thousands of moms and dads in those same communities who just want their kids to be able to walk home safely from school. To all citizens in all of our inner cities and all across the country, I say these words to you tonight. I am with you and I will fight for you, I promise. The job of a leader is to stand in someone else's shoes and see things from their perspective. You have to be able to do that. Hillary Clinton calls people who don't support her All right, thank you. These people. But you notice they don't have the same spirit as the Bernie Sanders people, right? There's no spirit there. You say get out and they just walk out. There's no spirit. Hillary Clinton calls people who don't support her deplorable and irredeemable. Right? I don't think so. I call anyone who doesn't support me an American citizen who is entitled to equal representation under the law. I will be a president for all Americans, and I will campaign for every last vote in every last community. I will extend my hand to every mayor in this country who wants to be a partner in making our cities safer for their citizens. That's what's going to happen. But to do this, well, that's right. Look at, don't let him get tired. But to do this, we must work with our police, not against our police. They are great people, and they do a great job. Those peddling the narrative of cops as a racist force in our society, and this is a narrative that is supported with a nod by my opponent. You see what she's saying, and it's not good. Share directly in the responsibility for the unrest that is afflicting our country and hurting those who have really the very least. People that are having a hard time. Low income, African Americans, and Latinos in these communities are the ones suffering in terms of lost jobs, lost property values, and really lost lives. You see what's going on in terms of the safeties in the inner cities. It's unbelievably dangerous, and we can't let it continue. We can't let it continue. As an example, 65 people have been shot in the city of Chicago alone since Friday. 65 people. The problem is not that there are too many police. The problem is that there are not enough police. Police are entrusted with the immense responsibility, and we must do everything we can to ensure they're properly trained and that they respect all members of the public, and that any wrongdoing is always vigorously addressed. That our men and women in blue also need our support, our thanks, and our gratitude. Remember that. They do. They are the line separating civilization from chaos. Hillary Clinton does not have to worry about the sirens and the gunshots at night. She doesn't worry about it. She's sleeping. She's sleeping. No, it's the poor family living in the inner city. It's the mother who feels like a refugee in her own country. Who is there to represent these families? Clinton doesn't want to hear their voices. She doesn't want to hear their voices. So I will be their voice. I will be a voice for all of the forgotten Americans in this country. I will be your voice. I'm going to be your voice. People who just want a secure, right? People who just want a secure community for their families, good schools for their kids, and a good paying job to support their loved ones. That's what they want. We will bring security to our African American communities and to our Latino communities. We will bring security, and we will bring jobs and education and care and medical. We'll take care of the people of our country, all of the people. We will also bring school choice, and we'll bring new prosperity. Now, Democrats have run our inner cities for more than half a century. In some cases, they've run the inner cities for over 100 years unbroken. And look what they've done. Nothing. They get your vote. They say, thank you. We'll see you in 4 years. That's all they do. It's time for a change. It's time for a new American future. And I say to the African American community, I say to the Hispanic community, these are communities in the inner cities that have tremendous levels of poverty, bad education, horrible jobs and no jobs. It doesn't get worse, and the cities are so unsafe. You walk your child to a store and you end up getting shot, or your child gets shot. I say, what do you have to lose? What do you have to lose? What do you have to lose? I will fix it. We're going to fix it together. We're going to make it safe. We're going to make good education. We're going to have choice. We're going to have good education. But we're going to make it safe for the people in those communities. And our education will get better, and everything is going to get better, because it certainly can't get much worse. Let's face it. You look at what's going on. We are going to make it better. We are going to fix it. We are going to fix it. My economic agenda can be summed up in 3 very beautiful words: jobs, jobs, jobs. My opponent, Hillary, likes to say that for decades she's been fighting for women. That she's been fighting for children. Why then are 70 million American women and children living in poverty or on the brink of poverty? Okay? She's been there for a long time. There's a woman I notice, I watch, and I see, and she's going to fix this, she's going to fix that, she's going to do this. Where has she been for 35 years? That's what she's been doing. When she ran for the Senate in New York, she said she's going to bring 200,000 jobs back to upstate New York. Didn't happen. It was a disaster. It was a disaster. Nothing happened. All talk, no action. Why has she provided no relief for the millions of Americans in search of affordable, reliable, quality child care? Why? All of a sudden, she wants to do child care. What's happened for the last 35 years? She's been a big part of government. What's happened? You know the old saying, watch what I do, not what I say. True. At the Trump Organization and in my campaign for president, women occupy some of the highest positions. I have employed thousands of women in my company, women of different backgrounds. You know Kellyanne Conway doing such a good job running my campaign. I don't know if she knew she was going to be mentioned tonight, but she's doing a very good job. Women of many talents. And just last week here in Pennsylvania, I was joined by my daughter Ivanka. And I laid out my plan and her plan for child care and elder care. We have also talked about improving education, and I will talk about it more tonight. A first-class public school education, as well as options for alternatives through charter schools, schools choice, and we have to have school choice. Homeschooling, it's all a right, not a privilege. The opportunity to attend a 2 or 4 year college or to pursue a trade or a skill through vocational and technical education should be easier to access, pay for, and finish. And a lot of people want to do that. Education is the bedrock of our society. We need education. We don't have quality education. Women also value security, and I will give great security for this country, for men, for women, for all of us. They want a commander-in-chief that will defeat radical Islamic terrorism and protect our borders. We need strong borders. We will build the wall. And Mexico will pay for the wall. 100%. 100%. 100%. They may not know it yet, but they're paying for it. And in all fairness, they're great people, a great country, have really good leadership. I met with the leaders 3 weeks ago. They're terrific people, and we'll get along great with Mexico. But you have to understand, Mexico is making a fortune with us on trade. They are building factories and plants and things you'd never see. It's like the eighth wonder of the world. Ford just announced they're moving to Mexico. Ford, their small car division. That's on top of what they've already moved there, $2.5 billion plant. No, we're going to make it a very great relationship, but we're going to make it a lot more fair. Okay? Right now, we have a highway. It goes in one direction, right into Mexico. Our jobs go out. Our companies go out. You know what we get? Nothing. Unemployment is what we get. As I campaign across this country, I hear so many stories and pleas from women especially about drug addiction and opioid use. They are doing their best in their communities and for their families to provide a safe, nurturing environment. But even the best laid plans cannot always protect our youth. And increasingly, many adults from this scourge, it's a scourge of drugs, much again coming over that southern border. Much. What a shame. You look at what's happening to the youth of this country, it's being poisoned, and plenty of other people also. But the youth of our country is being poisoned with what's coming across the border. We will end that. We will have such strong borders. We are going to end it, and we're going to help the people that are seriously addicted. We're going to help those people. We lose thousands of our fellow Americans every year to opioid use. I will stop the drug inflow. from our borders. 16,500 Border Patrol agents endorsed Donald Trump. First time they've ever endorsed a presidential candidate. These drugs come over the border and make their way into our urban and rural communities and into our suburbs. This will change very quickly after we win on November 8th and take office in January. It is top priority. Every single change starts with a conversation. Together, we will have this conversation, but it will be a quick conversation, not a political or politicians' conversation that lasts for many, many years and then nothing's done. The changes will start immediately. On my first day in office, I am going to immediately begin lifting all regulations that are hurting our workers and our businesses. And they're out of control. I will tell you, they're out of control. This will unleash a technology revolution. America will become the best place to innovate and to invest in the future. The next great American invention, the next great improvement to our lives is right around the corner, believe me. What we have to do is remove the horrible red tape and regulations. Our plan includes one of the biggest tax reforms in American history. It's going to include a 15% tax rate for all businesses, small and large, making our country a magnet for new jobs. We are going to go from the highest tax rate in the land, just about, anywhere in the world. We have just about the highest tax rate in the world to one of the lowest, and that's going to unleash jobs, companies, new business, expansion of old businesses. It's going to be a beautiful thing, the biggest since Ronald Reagan and maybe bigger than Ronald Reagan. We are going to unleash an American energy revolution. Oil, coal, natural gas, shale, energy, renewables. This will add at least 500,000 new jobs every single year. But to be a prosperous nation, we need to be a country that makes and builds things in our own country. We have to start making things again, right? We don't make it anymore. We don't make things anymore, relatively speaking. We used to make everything. Now we don't make anything. Our jobs have been taken. Our companies have been taken. We're going to change it. It's going to be the other way. You're going to be very proud of me, folks. Not even going to be hard. It's not even going to be hard. That is why I will direct the Department of Commerce to identify every single violation of our trading rules by our foreign competitors. They are taking advantage of us big, big league. They are making us look like babies. We will apply every lawful remedy to end these trade abuses. Steal jobs, and you have to see, all manufacturing jobs, they'll all be returning to Pennsylvania in a very big way, and pretty quickly, too. Pretty quickly. You'll be amazed. And when people think and companies think and the bosses think they can take their company and move it to Mexico or some other company, and they can make that product and fire all of their people in the state of Pennsylvania, the hell with the state of Pennsylvania, they say. So they'll fire all of their workers that have been there for years and done a great job. And they'll go to Mexico, they'll go someplace else, they'll make the same product or a similar product, and they'll sell it through our now very strong border. Not going to happen. Because they will pay a 35% tax every time they make their product and want to sell it. And now what will happen is very simple. What will happen is very simple. They won't move. They're staying. Now, they may leave Pennsylvania, go to another state, but you got to fight for yourselves there, right? But we're not losing to other countries, that I can tell you. But they're not going to move. And they'll fix up their plant, or they'll go to another location within our country. But we're going to have so much business coming back to Pennsylvania. So, number one, when explained to the company, they'll say, guess what, we're staying.
And the special interests aren't going to help. I put a fortune into my own campaign. I'm spending so much money. I'll tell you what, it's very interesting. So I've got tens and tens of millions of dollars spent in my campaign, and I don't want the big money. We're doing a lot of fundraising for the RNC, Republican National Committee. Reince Priebus is doing a fantastic job, by the way. Fantastic. We're raising money for the Republican Party. But we have the smaller donor, $61 average, and we're taking in millions of dollars from the smaller donor. The first time anyone's ever seen that in the Republican Party to this extent, because people want to contribute even if it's a small amount. And it's amazing what's happening, and I'm spending a lot of money on my campaign. So that when they come to me and they say, listen, Mr. President, or listen, Donald, the lobbyist, call me up. And I say, I don't want to even take his call. I know half of them. I know a lot of these lobbyists. I know them. And by the way, they're very effective. They're very smart. They're very effective. They totally control the people in office, to a large extent. But they're very, very effective. And when they call me, I have no interest. I have one interest, making it good for the people of this country, making it good for our country. That's the only interest I have. Or I wouldn't be doing this. Or I would not be doing this. Your state, as an example, has lost 1/3 of your manufacturing jobs since NAFTA. NAFTA, one of the great disasters of all time. One of the great, maybe the worst trade deal ever made in the history of the world, not the history of our country. NAFTA is one of the worst deals ever made. You look at New England, you look at Pennsylvania, you look at Ohio, you look anywhere you want. Look at different parts of Pennsylvania. It's never going to recover from it. I mean, we will, if you get me president, we're going to bring a lot of jobs back. But I'll tell you what, if Hillary gets in, here's your chances of recovery. 0, 0, 0. 1/4 of your manufacturing jobs have been lost since China joined the World Trade Organization. These were both Bill Clinton deals backed by Hillary Clinton. The Clintons robbed Pennsylvania, stole your jobs, and shipped them to other countries. But we're going to bring them back. We're going to bring them back. Jobs are going to come flowing back to America. It used to be that cars were made in Flint and you couldn't drink the water, right? Cars were made in Flint and you couldn't drink the water. Where? In Mexico. Right? Remember, you couldn't drink the water in Mexico. But the cars, there was a massive place with cars, and now it's very sad. I was there 2 weeks ago. Today, the cars are made in Mexico, and you can't drink the water in Flint. How bad? How bad is that, though? How sad is it? So we're going to turn things around in this country. There are reasons the hedge fund managers are all donating to Hillary Clinton's campaign and not to mine. Did you see? They were at about $48 million, and I was at $19,000 in terms of donations. And I'm trying to figure out who's the guy that gave me the 19. I think I'm going to send it back. We'll have to send it back. Everybody getting rich off the rigged system and who want nothing to change and nothing, they don't want anything to change. They want to keep it the way it is, are throwing their money at Hillary Clinton. I read where I'm ahead in Florida, and she's outspending me on commercials, or she intends to, but she has already, 50-1. How can I be leading in Florida? She's outspending me 50-1. Can that be possible? Maybe 5-1, 10-1. It actually said 50-1. And I'm actually leading in the state of Florida, and she's outspending me by numbers that are unbelievable. But we'll see what happens. Look, I think we're going to win this thing. I think people are tired of what's happening in this country. And by the way, in the state of Pennsylvania, the numbers are unbelievable. The amount of money, you can't turn on a television without seeing a phony ad that's totally dishonest, maybe not totally, but pretty dishonest, about me. I just wanted to see a nice Ivory Snow commercial, but there's no room. They're all negative ads about me, and we're doing great in Pennsylvania.
And by the way, sign up for the campaign, all of you people, especially the ones back there. Look at the people. I don't believe it. I wish those cameras, you know, if they were honest, they'd take their camera and show that massive room back there. But they'll never do that. They'll never do that. They'll never do that. Among the most dishonest people in the world, the media. And there are some good ones. There. The only time they show the crowd, why don't you show it over in this little corner right over here? Take your camera and show what's back there. That room's bigger than this room by a lot. And then on top of it, there are people outside by the thousands. Folks, we have a movement. This is a movement. This is an amazing thing that's happening, and we're going to turn our country around. My campaign is powered by my money and by the small donations from everyday patriotic citizen and by some other people that want to help the party. 95% of our donors are small dollar donations. Every dollar helps your country. We're going to bring it back. So visit, and I hate to do this, you know, should I do it? It sounds, to me, I don't like it. DonaldJTrump.com. I hate to do it, yeah. To find out how you can help and to get involved in the campaign. Because on November 8th, we want people to get out that vote. We want people to get out that vote. We've got to get it out. So let me tell you what else we're going to ask you to do. One of the biggest problems facing young people and families today is the cost of college education. It's a tremendous problem. One of the biggest problems I hear. The cost of college has increased by over 500% since 1973. But what a lot of people don't know is that universities get massive tax breaks for their massive endowments. These huge multi-billion-dollar endowments are tax-free, but too many of these universities don't use the money to help with the tuition and student debt. Instead, these universities use the money to pay their administrators, or put donors' names on buildings, or just store the money, keep it, and invest it. In fact, many universities spend more on private equity fund managers than on tuition programs. But they should be using the money on students for tuition, for student life, and for student housing. That's what it's supposed to be for. On top of that, the federal government spends over $70 billion in higher education every single year, plus another $130 billion on federal loans. And the students are choking on those loans. They can't pay them back. Before they start, they're in trouble. And it's something I hear more and more, and it's one of the things I hear more than anything else. Here again, the universities don't use the money to reduce the price of college, which is what they should be doing, but rather to increase it. We have to break this cycle. We have to deal with these universities. We have to break the cycle. Our kids are going into life with massive debt that many of them feel they'll never be able to pay off. We have to help them. And I'm going to work with Congress on reforms to make sure that if universities want access to all of these special federal tax breaks and tax dollars paid for by you, that they are going to make good faith efforts to reduce the cost of college and student debt and to spend their endowments on their students rather than other things that don't matter. Another major issue for all American families is health care. It's out of control. President Obama promised Obamacare would reduce the cost of health care by $2,500. Instead, the opposite happened. The cost of health care has increased nearly $5,000 during that time, and actually, in many cases, much more than that. Just one more Washington lie, like the lie that if you like your doctor, remember, you can keep your doctor. Obamacare is a disaster. That's why on my first day, I'm going to ask Congress to immediately send me a bill to repeal and replace disastrous Obamacare. We are going to replace the government-run Obamacare with reforms that put
patients first. These reforms include expanding access to popular health savings accounts, empowering Americans to shop for insurance of their choice across state lines, competition, and block granting Medicaid to the states so they can design innovative solutions to the best and to best serve our most vulnerable citizens who need help. Hillary Clinton, on the other hand, wants to give Obamacare to illegal immigrants and wants a total government takeover of health care. That's what she wants. Her plan also gives Social Security and Medicare to illegal immigrants by making them citizens, bankrupting these programs for Americans. That's what's happened. She doesn't understand democracy. You might think she does, but she doesn't. Public servants are just that. They're there to serve you, not to serve themselves. But the only people Hillary Clinton has ever served are the special interests. Our campaign is about breaking up the special interest monopoly in Washington, D.C. We're trying to disrupt the collusion between the wealthy donors, the large corporations, and the media executives, the ones that control these people. They're all part of the same political establishment. They go to the same restaurants, they attend the same conferences, they have the same friends, and they actually like me, many of them, I must say. They actually do. It's hard to believe, isn't it? They all support the same ideology of globalism that makes them rich while shipping your jobs, your factories, and your wealth to other countries. It's going to stop. I am not running to be president of the world. I am running to be president of the United States. Strong country. I am solely for America and America first. It's going to be America first. America first. Together, we will rebuild this country beyond our greatest dreams. Government will start working again. Fixing things is what I do. Just look at my projects in New York and other places where I turn rundown spaces into new centers of business, activity and opportunity. Where others saw only problems, I saw potential and did really well at doing it. We turned empty lots into homes, offices, living memories for thousands of workers and their families, and hired thousands and thousands of workers with great jobs and great wages. That's what I want to do for our country. I want to go into the neglected neighborhoods, the failing schools, the forgotten stretches of this nation, and unlock their potential for all of our people. Also, those great corporations, I want them to be greater. I want them to create jobs. The small businesses, I want them to become big businesses. I want new businesses to grow and flourish. Right now, they can't because of regulation and the taxes are too high. So we're going to change all of that. I've made a living for years looking at unused spaces and imagining what they could be. Politicians look at blighted neighborhoods and offer only excuses year after year. I look at those same neighborhoods right now and I'm offering solutions. We will spend so much time thinking about how things used to be, we don't want to do that. We've stopped thinking about how great things could be. And we have to do just have to do this. We have to turn out the doubters, the cynics, the naysayers. We basically have to turn away the politicians that have been ripping you off for years. We want change. And Hillary Clinton is probably the least change in the history of our country. You know, she's always talking about her experience. And she does have experience, but it's bad experience. She's made all mistakes. She's got bad judgment. Bernie Sanders said it. She's got bad judgment. We are a nation of strivers, dreamers, and believers. And that's the spirit that will carry us to victory in November. and to great victories as a nation. In that spirit and that same beautiful spirit of resilience, I have seen visiting, and I have been all over the country. You probably noticed, right? Where is Hillary today? I think you're right. Now, well, they say she's been practicing for the debate. Some people think she's sleeping. I have seen visiting, and I've been visiting the flood-ravaged towns of Louisiana, or meeting, great place. By the way, those people are incredible. Or meeting with the incredible but hard-hit people in cities and towns like Flint, Michigan. What a disaster they have going there. All caused by incompetent politicians. All caused. What they did in Flint is unbelievable. They took a good water source, spent millions of dollars to give a bad water source, and now they're all fighting with each other as to who made the mistake. They all made the mistake. It's called government, it's called politicians, it's called incompetence. What a mess. That's right, you're fired. It's that spirit of strength we need to start winning again as a country. We don't win anymore. But we're going to start winning again, I can tell you that. But that means you need to show up and vote on November 8th. You have to knock on doors. You have to pick up that phone, go to our website, learn more, but you have to knock on those doors. You have to watch. You have to be vigilant. You have to make sure it's on the up and up. You understand. You have to campaign in the streets, spread the love that we have in this room all around to the people of Pennsylvania and to the people of the country. To beat the system, and boy is it a rigged system, you have to lift your voice, pound the pavement, and get out to vote. We have to get out to vote, not just yourself, get everybody out. If you're so sick, you're not feeling well, the doctor gives you a horrible, horrible prognosis. He gives you the ultimate. He says, Jim, you're not going to make it. I don't care. Get up and vote, right? Get out and vote. You have 46 days to change the world. You have 46 days to make possible every dream you ever dreamed for your country and for your state. And it's a great state. It's a great state. The state of Pennsylvania. 46 days. You have one magnificent chance to deliver justice for every forgotten man, woman, and child in this nation. The arrogance of Washington, D.C. will soon come face to face with the righteous verdict of the American voter. That's you. And you. This November 8th, we're going to show the whole world that America is back, bigger and better and stronger than ever before. Here is just some of what will happen starting on January of 2017. I am going to lower your taxes big league. We are going to eliminate unnecessary regulation that's choking our lives and choking our businesses. We will unleash American energy. We are going to appoint justices of the United States Supreme Court who will uphold the Constitution of the United States. We're going to close our borders to terrorists. They're not coming in, folks. They're not coming in. We are going to save our Second Amendment, which is under total siege. And we are going to put the American worker first. We are going to take our trade deals, which are among the worst deals ever negotiated, just like the deal with Iran was a disaster. Our trade deals are the same thing, We are going to take those horrible deals and make them great deals. And if the other side won't cooperate, we're going to terminate those deals and we're going to start all over again. We will rebuild our roads, bridges, tunnels, highways, airports, schools, and hospitals. American cars will travel the roads, American planes will soar the skies, and American ships will patrol the seas, built in America. American steel will send new skyscrapers into the clouds. And we're going to take care of our miners, and we're going to take care of our steel workers. American hands will rebuild this nation, and American energy harvested from American sources will power our great country. American workers will be hired to do the job. We will put new American steel into the spine of our country. I will fight for every neglected part of this nation, and I will fight to bring us all together as one American people. Imagine what our country could accomplish if we started working together as one people under one God, saluting one American flag. It's time to break with the bitter failures of the past and to embrace a new, inclusive, and prosperous American future. Jobs will return, incomes will rise, and new factories will come rushing onto our shores. Once more, we will have a government of, by, and for the people. We will make America wealthy again. We will make America strong again. We will make America safe again. And we will make America great again. Thank you very much. God bless you. God bless you. Thank you.
All right, thank you very much, everyone. Thank you for choosing us as your stream of choice. We hope you enjoyed the rally. I was gonna show you guys a video that is hilarious. It's Hillary Clinton getting interviewed by Zach Galifianakis. I think is the most hilarious thing I've ever seen in my life, but due to copyright and all the other stuff, I can't show it on stream. I'll get shut down. So make sure you go to our channel, our YouTube page, and our Twitter and our Facebook pages. I will post them both on both of them. So go and check it out. It's really, really funny. So if you're new to our channel, make sure you hit that subscribe button and join the community. If you don't want to subscribe, that's fine. A thumbs up is more than enough. We will stream the debate on Monday. Now, filming the debate on Monday takes a lot of funding. So if you can help us out, that'll be great. Our link to our PayPal is below, and as you know, it takes quite a bit of planning and all that stuff. So we're trying to get as many people onto the stream as we possibly can. So any funding that we get will go towards making sure that, one, we don't get shut down by mistake, and two, we can get as many Trump supporters on the stream. So if you guys can help us out, that'd be great. Also, you know, the ads that you see before, after, and maybe even in between our videos and the rallies, those go to help us out too. So make sure that you whitelist us on your ad blocker. It helps us a lot, and it continues our coverage. So when Donald Trump stops doing rallies, before the election or even after the election, we will start to do more in-depth investigative news stories. Okay, so after Donald Trump wins the election on November the 8th, maybe he'll do a few things in between from the time that he wins to the time he gets inaugurated. So we will focus mostly on investigative news reporting. So if you guys have any leads or anything like that, always send it to us on Facebook or on Twitter. It helps us out by getting the real news out there. We will stream the inauguration live. We will actually be physically in Washington, D.C. So we will definitely film the inauguration day live here for you guys. We are getting ready for that too. Hopefully, we can prepare correctly and everything will go as planned. So make sure that you guys hit that subscribe button if you're new, so you guys can check that out. We will be there to make sure that everything goes well, and just to show everyone that, you know, Trump is getting sworn in. It will be the highlight of all of the work that we have put in, and we encourage you guys to join us if you guys live near Washington, D.C. So yeah, thank you very much, guys. And like I said, if you guys can help out, you know, when it comes to the debates, it'll be great. Thank you very much. Again, the link is in the description below. I hate to do this, but I have to do it. It's something that is going to take a lot of funding. So yeah, thank you very much, everyone. Hope to see you guys here next time. But until then, peace.